Hey, what if I told you that a trip to Jupiter's moons could one day take less time than your morning commute? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a movie, but we're going to explore a radical concept that could actually make it happen. We're talking about the wormhole hub, an idea for, basically, wiring our entire solar system.
Okay, just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about here. Right now, a trip to Mars is a long, hard 9-month journey. But with a system like the hub, that same trip could take 9 minutes. Yeah, you heard me right. That isn't just a little faster, that's a complete rewriting of the rules of space travel. The question is, how on Earth do we get from here to there?
Well, before we can even dream of building that future, we have to face our biggest problem head-on. And that problem is something called the tyranny of distance. It is, without a doubt, the single greatest wall holding us back from truly becoming a spacefaring species.
I mean, let's be honest. Right now, space travel is basically a grueling endurance test. It's slow, it's incredibly difficult, and it's lonely. We measure these journeys in months, sometimes years. It takes so many resources, and it forces us to crawl through this incredibly hostile environment. It's the bottleneck that makes all those big dreams, like mining the asteroids or building cities on Mars, feel so far away. It's pretty clear we don't just need faster rockets. We need a whole new way of thinking.
And that new way of thinking? Well, that might just come from the world of science fiction. You see, instead of trying to travel across the vast map of space, what if we could just fold it? And to do that, we need to talk about one of the coolest concepts out there, wormholes.
So what exactly is a wormhole? Put simply, it's a theoretical tunnel through the fabric of space-time itself. It's the ultimate cosmic shortcut. Now, there's a catch, of course. Physics tells us that a wormhole would collapse on itself instantly. So, to keep it open, you'd need something called exotic matter, stuff that has negative gravity to basically prop the door open. If we could crack that, it would change everything.
The easiest way to wrap your head around this is the map analogy. Okay, picture space as a big, flat sheet of paper. Earth is on one side and Mars is way over on the other. Now, you could travel all the way across the paper, or you could just fold the paper in half, bringing Earth and Mars right next to each other, and then just punch a hole straight through. Boom, you've just created an instant tunnel. That, in a nutshell, is how a wormhole works.
But look, one wormhole is just a single highway. To really wire up the whole solar system, you need a network. You need a grand central station for the cosmos, and that's where the hub comes in.
The hub would be the beating heart of this whole transit system, and it would have 3 huge jobs. First, and this is the big one, it has to stabilize the gateways, using that exotic matter to prop open those doors in space-time. Second, it's the ultimate air traffic controller, managing every ship that's zipping between planets. And finally, it has to power this entire unbelievable network.
And let's be perfectly clear about the power requirements here. We're talking about an amount of energy that's almost impossible to imagine. Seriously, think about harnessing the entire output of stars just to keep these connections stable. This isn't just another engineering project. This is a species-defining effort, on the same level as building the pyramids, but on a cosmic scale.
But what if we could actually do it? What would that future even look like? What happens to humanity when distance becomes completely irrelevant? Well, what happens is we would see the birth of a brand new human civilization.
All of a sudden, a real solar economy just springs to life. A mining operation out in the asteroid belt is now just a 12-minute commute. You want to visit the research outpost on Europa? That's a 20-minute trip. The moons of Saturn become these vital fueling stations for the whole system. Our solar system would go from being this vast, empty place to a bustling network of interconnected neighborhoods.
And you know, this isn't just about money or resources. It would be a total revolution for science, for culture. Imagine scientists collaborating in real time between Earth and a moon of Jupiter. Or think about entirely new cultures born on different worlds, being able to mix and visit each other as easily as we travel between cities today. It would be the true start of a solar system spanning humanity.
So if you've done all that, if you've wired up your entire backyard, you inevitably start looking over the fence, right? Which brings us to the final, biggest question. What comes next?
Because when you get right down to it, the real power of the hub isn't just about getting from point A to point B faster. It's about creating a shared destiny for all of humanity. There's a great quote from a futurist that says, "The hub didn't just connect planets, it connected futures." It would tie all of us, no matter where we live, into one grand human story.
So I'll leave you with this thought. If we actually built this network, if we connected every corner of our solar system, what would stop us from pointing one of those gateways to the nearest star? The hub wouldn't be the end of the journey. It would just be the beginning of our story in the galaxy. Which makes you wonder, where would we go from there?